Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Hey, it is on and we are live. Hello, everybody. Damon from Shadowdrake Creations here. And today we are talking about Archive Creature Brewer, the latest offering from our Archive series of modules. And this is a big one, guys. It's something that I've been working on for months because, well, let's face it, there is a lot going on. Hello, Clons. Nice to see you, man. Right, so the Creature Brewer. The Creature Brewer is for, well, exactly what it says. It is for home brewing creatures natively inside Foundry. We can create, we can edit, and, well, let's just, let's create a creature or two, shall we? Show you guys exactly how it works. We're going to start with something really simple, a basic creature. Let's turn that music down just a little bit. It's a little loud in my ear. There we go. There we go. We got that turned down just a bit. Pull back the microphone so it's not redlining. Right, so we're going to create a couple of creatures here with the Creature Brewer, just so I can show you guys exactly how it works. So this is our empty creature here. We have a basics, notes, stats, actions, boss encounters for if you want boss stuff, casters for spells, a library to choose between whether you're going to use the 2014 or 2024 rule sets, and the review page with a whole lot of warnings because nothing is set. So let's start with a really easy one. We're going to make a, let's see, a Shadow Wolf. That's what we're going to make. We're going to make a Shadow Wolf. We're going to choose an image. Already dropped it in here, the Shadow Wolf image. Select file. Now we've got a nice little image going on over here. Our Shadow Wolf is a medium creature, and it is undead because it is from the Shadowfell. Subtype, we'll just call it a wolf because we can. I'm not really worried about alignment. I don't know if anybody uses alignment much anymore, but I put it in here because, well, why not? Tags. Tags are important because this is how you're going to sort through your creatures once you've created a bunch of them. So for this guy, we're going to put in Shadowfell, Shadow, Wolf. Easy peasy, right? And you can see over here that our stat block is updating live as we are typing. We're going to go into some notes. Now we have two different types of notes here. We have a public description, which is what the GM would read to their players when they encounter one of these creatures. And then we have GM notes, which are the private notes for the GM only. Let's see here. Yes, I created these in advance, and I'm going to copy paste for speed. So, a wolf-shaped mass of living shadow prowls just beyond the light. Its form shifts and frays at the edges as though it was only partially real, while two dim glowing eyes fix on nearby movement. It moves in silence, its paws making no sound as it circles and watches. The air around it grows cold. The shadows seem to stretch unnaturally in its presence. You can see we've got a nice preview going on over here, trying to kind of mimic the 5e creature stat block. Now, if you want to add GM notes, right, something for the GM to read later, we can add these in here. They don't show up in the preview because it would really stretch the block out and make it hard to read, but they will be in the creature's biography when it is ported. Then we're going to move on to the stats block. What makes this creature this creature? Ability scores, obviously. Let's do a 12, a 14, a 12 for Constitution. Intelligence, we'll make it a 6. They're not real bright. Wisdom, a 12, and then Charisma will be 8. We're going to make it a challenge rating 1. We're going to give it an armor class. Let's see, it's an armor class 13. Natural armor. Like that. Hit points. For hit points, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You can just type in hit points and say it's got 22 hit points. Or you could give it a dice figure, say 5d8 plus 5d8 plus 5, and it will auto-calculate it for you and give you the average. For movement, we're going to make them fast. We're going to say they have 40 feet of walking speed. Give them 30 feet of dark vision. No languages. The wolf, it doesn't really speak. Resistances, we could say that it's resistant to necrotic damage because it's from the Shadowfell. Immunities, no. Conditions, no. Vulnerabilities, let's say because it is from the Shadowfell, we'll give it resistance to radiant damage. I'll apply that, and you can see they've already been added to our preview. Now we get to, well, structure its abilities. What can it do? So I want to show you first the library. We have the 2014 pack and the 2024 rule set, depending on which one you want to use. I'm going to stick with the 2014. It's the one that I know the best. And in my actions, I wanted to have pack tactics. So I'm just going to type the word pack. I'm going to search, and it's going to bring up pack tactics right here. I can add it in, and you can see that the lookup name has advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of its allies are within 5 feet, and the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated. So when we go over and look at this in a character sheet, it will fill all this in. This is boundary coding for looking up the creature's name. We can add our own action. We're going to call this one let's just call it Bite. And it's going to be an actual action, an attack roll, no recharge. We could add some notes to it if we wanted to. These are just for your use. It's going to be a weapon attack, melee, maybe a plus, what do we say? A +4 to hit, reach of 5 feet, and we're going to do 1d8 plus +2 piercing damage. All right, so we could add more damage to it if we wanted. We could also add a savings throw to it. So let's say if we added a DC 11 Constitution savings throw, and then have disadvantage on their next attack roll. So we've added in here. When this attack hits, DC 11 Constitution savings throw, or have disadvantage on their next attack roll. We could add a success text in there as well if we wanted, but because of the way we worded it, we already know that on success happens. No video, sound only. Really? Video is working for me. Kind of sort. Wifey, can you check my stream real quick and make sure you got video? Oh, we've got video running there as well. Right, so where were we? We were... Right, we finished off saving throw. We already know it's not going to be a boss. We don't need any boss actions. We already know it's not going to be a caster. We don't need any caster actions. We go over to review, and we see we have no validation messages needed. We can save our blueprint. We can export our creature to a compendium. I created one earlier, so I'm just going to yes and overwrite it. And then we can open the exported actor sheet. And we see that right inside there, we have our pack tactics. And we have our bite attack. If we import this as an actual actor over here, now we have our actor sheet where we have pack tactics, our bite, our hit points are correct, our AC is correct, and we've got our necrotic resistance and radiant resistance. Now the reason we save this as a blueprint is because now I can go back over to Creature Brewer, say edit, and open my Shadow Wolf again, and I can reiterate it. So let's say I want to make a Shadow Wolf Alpha, the leader of the pack. we're gonna leave the text for it alone, but we're gonna add a new image, I think. Let's make it make it this image. There we go. This is going to be our Shadow Wolf Alpha. It's still medium, it's still undead, still wolf. We're going to leave the exact same tags in there, except we're going to add Alpha. The notes are going to be exactly the same. Its stats will update its stats just a little bit. Let's make it just a little stronger. We'll say it's Strength 14, Dex 14, Constitution 14, Intelligence we'll leave it 6, Wisdom we'll bump that to 13, and Charisma to 10, and we're going to make it a challenge rating 2. It's just that little bit stronger. Green Kitty, congrats on your module release, Archive Creature Brewer. Thank you very much. Not working for me on any browser. The video download was canceled. Please try again. I don't know why that's going on. So we'll continue our upgrade here. We'll make it 14 for his hit points. We'll make him a little bit stouter. Let's do 6d10 plus 12. So he gets a few more hit points in there. We'll make his walk the same, his movement the same. Maybe you get a little bit stronger dark vision or something. No. We'll leave all this exactly the same. Where I want to show you the differences, we can go over to actions. And in our actions, see, we've still got our pack tactics. We've still got our bite. Let's adjust the bite a little bit. Make his bite a little bit stronger since alpha. We're going to give it a +5 to hit. And then it's actually going to do... let's do 1d10 plus 3 piercing damage. And then for the Constitution savings throw, let's bump that up to a 13. And then for the fail, let's say have disadvantage on all of their attacks until start of the alpha's next turn. And then the next pack member. Ooh, I can't type. Next member to attack the target has advantage. All right, there we go. That bumps him up a little bit there. What else can we do? So we've got pack tactics, we've got bite. Not bad, that's not bad. We could add another one in here. Let's call it the let's call it the Shadow Howl. Get the Shadow Howl in here. And we're going to call it we're going to leave it a trait. No roll needed. We're just going to give it some notes and say that the alpha Shadow Wolf emits a low echoing howl infused with shadow. Each creature of the alpha's choice within 30 feet must succeed on a DC 12 wisdom savings throw or become frightened until the end of its next turn. I can't leave that as a trait. That needs to be a action. We get savings throw. We're going to make it a savings throw. So there we go. Now we get the Now we get the stuff in there. So it's a DC 12. What did I say? A DC 12 wisdom. DC 12 wisdom savings throw. And we're going to take our text that we put up there, and we're actually going to put it down here, and we're going to delete it from up here. Huh. Apparently I've broken this one. I gotta love when that happens. There it is. Shadow Howl. Must make a DC 12 wisdom savings throw. The alpha shadow wolf emits a low echoing howl infused with shadow. Each creature within the alpha's choice within 30 feet must succeed on a DC 12 wisdom savings throw. Become frightened until the end of its next turn on a successful save. I don't know where it's coming with half. It's weird. I'm going to delete that one and try it again. It was blocking because of the adult broadcast. Now I see you. I tend to strong language, so better safe than sorry, my friend. Better safe than sorry. Let's try this again. I want to figure out why I couldn't do this a minute ago. So we're going to call it the Shadow Owl. All right. A DC 12 wisdom saving throw. Oh, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. It's auto-adding that half in there. The auto-adding the on a successful save half. I will add that to my notes to remove that because it shouldn't be there. We found a bug while creating. All right, I don't want any damage on this, so I'm going to remove the damage type. Oh, it's not going to let me remove the damage type. Again, more notes. It still is not a boss. It's not a caster. We're going to review it, and we're going to save the blueprint. And you see we didn't get an overwrite because it's not an existing creature. We can open it, and now we have the Shadow Wolf app. We have the Shadow Wolf Alpha with its Packtastic, its Shadow Howl, and its Bite action. Now, beyond that, we can really get into making some cool creatures. How about a caster? Spells. Spells are always so hard in Foundry when you're homebrewing because you have to open compendiums and drag and drop and search. So the idea behind it is to make searching for spells and inserting spells into character sheets so much easier. What did we create? We created a Void Cultist. Let's see. Void Cultist. He looks like this. He's a cool looking little guy. He's a medium creature. We're going to call him humanoid. We're not going to give him a subtype because he could literally be anything that you wanted. Cultist, Shadowfell. I'm stuck on the Shadowfell. Sorry, guys. Void. For notes for this guy, for the public description, which I didn't show you. I kind of jumped through it real quick. If we go back over to our Shadow Wolf and we go to the biography, you can see the public description of the GM notes. I don't know why it's putting it in there twice, but you do have the public description and the GM notes. Notes twice. This is why I like doing live streams, because I have to walk through every single step of the module to share it with you guys. And, well, I get to see all the things that don't work exactly right. All right, so we have a public description. Get a, we can get a GM's description. We can go set his stats up. We're going to do real simple with stats. And 14. We're going to make him a challenge rating 2. Give him an armor class of, let's say, 12. He's a caster, so he doesn't have really high hit points. Let's do 68 plus 6. 30 feet of walking speed. We're going to give him 60 feet of dark vision. Let's say that he speaks common and abyssal. We'll apply those two. Resistances, let's say that he also has resistance to necrotic damage. No immunities, no condition immunities, and he is going to be vulnerable to radiant. Yeah, I didn't get real creative with this, I don't think. I created some pretty similar looking actions. Today's actions. So we are not going to, we're not going to add a whole lot here from the library except for spell casting, because he's a spellcaster. So we're going to add the spell casting. And the reason I did this is so that you don't have to recreate them. They already exist. All right, so yeah, obviously his spell list from this is a little messed up. So we're going to go in here and we're going to change his spell list around a little bit. Let's see. DC 12 to hit to look up spells. He has clerical spells. Maybe that's not the right... Go ahead and cast a spell. Ah, there it is. Cast a spell. That's the one I'm looking for. Cast a spell. Cast a spell from its list of prepared spells using a spell slot as normal. That's the one I was looking for. I put in the wrong one. Right, and then we're going to create some actions for him. So we're going to create an action. This was just going to be a trait. We're going to call it Shadow Channeling. Feature, no rolls. Going to put in some notes here. So, while in dim light or darkness, the Void Cultist has advantage on saving throws against spells. He likes it in the dark. Let's add another action. This action we're going to call... it's going to be an attack. We're going to call it the Void Bolt. It is attack roll. It is going to be a spell attack. It's going to be ranged. We're going to give him... a range of, let's see, we're going to give him a +2 to hit. His long range is going to be 60. Normal range will be 10. We're going to do it in feet. We're going to say, 2d6, let's say 2d6 necrotic damage. And add a savings throw in here, just because we can. Let's call it a DC 12 dexterity savings throw. On success, half damage. Easy enough. Collapse that one. And we had one more I wanted to add in here. We're going to add an action that's called, we're going to call it the Void Step. And it is going to be a bonus act. And just some quick notes on it. No recharge. So, we've got cast a spell, shadow channeling, the void bolt as an action, and as a bonus action, void step. As a bonus action, the void cultist magically teleports up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space it can see that is in dim light or darkness, and after teleporting, the cultist has advantage on the next spell attack it makes before the end of its turn. Now, here's where this really gets to be fun with casters. Now we get to go work on his spell list. So we're going to say, yes, he is a caster. His spell casting ability is, we're going to say that it's wisdom, and that he's we're going to say that he's a level, I don't know, a level 3 caster. And I want to use the 2014 spells. All right, we gave you a little note place in here. Just, you can add yourself some notes if you want. But then we want to look at his spells that he can cast. So go with cantrips, and we're going to look for chill touch. We're going to add a chill touch in there. Let's see, we can add minor illusion. Maybe do cause fear. AUSE. There's no. Okay, so maybe I don't have that spell. Let's go with Hex instead. Really? There we go. There's cause fear. And then just one more, we'll do darkness. All right, so there we go. Now he's got a bit of a spell list. He's got a bit of a spell list in there. We go over to review. Caster is enabled, but no spell casting feature was found in action. Yeah, there's spell casting is in there. Again, more notes. More notes, more notes, more notes. Want to look at the validations? Validations for spellcasting. We're going to go ahead and save our blueprint. Export our creature to compendium. Open the exported actor. And we see he can cast a spell. Shadow channeling, void bolt, void step. But then when we go to his spell book, all of his spells are there. Right where they should be. Yay! We created a caster. Import him in. And we can see our Void Cultist as an actual actor that you can drag out and drop on the screen. Love it. Works perfectly. Mostly. Just some validation errors to look at. Right, one more, because this is the one everybody's going to want to see. It's not really a big bad evil guy. We're gonna do something a little bit smaller, maybe like a CR8, CR9. We're just gonna do like a mini boss kind of thing. So, creature brewer, create. Let's get into legendary actions and stuff. That's what I want to show you guys. Legendary actions. So let's do the Ashbound Tyrant. Browse for images. Got an image of my Ashbound Tyrant. There he is. There's my Ashbound Tyrant. Notes. Massive figure of jagged black stone lumbers forward, its body split by glowing cracks of molten light. At its center, a blazing core pulses like a heart of fire, casting flickering shadows with its every movement. Heat rolls off it in waves. The ground seems to darken and smolder beneath its steps. Its eyes burn like coals in a faceless feature mixed with slow, inevitable intent. I wouldn't want to fight it. Give myself some GM notes, just so that I know what it does later. The Ashbound Tyrant is a fusion of elemental ruin and shadow essence, often formed where catastrophic fire and shadow magics have fused into a single destructive force. So this gives me, as the GM, some personal knowledge about this creature. Let's give it some stats. We're going to make this one a little bit more chunky because, well, he's a big guy. 12 and a 16 and a 10 and a 12 and another 16. We're going to go ahead and make him a CR8. We're going to give him an armor class of 16. And, well, he's a big chunky guy. We want to make him a damage absorbing beast. So let's give him some nice hit points. We'll do 16 D10 plus 48. There we go. So he starts out with 92 hit points. Movement, he's got 30 feet of movement speed. Dark vision, he's got 120 feet of dark vision. Languages, let's just say that he speaks Abyssal. We're going to apply that. Resistances, he's going to be resistant to necrotic and fire damage. We'll apply that. Immunity, no real immunities for him. We will give him vulnerability to radiant. Apply that. What did we say he was? He was supposed to be a monstrosity, and he's large. I forgot to add those in there earlier. Forgot to add those in there earlier. I skipped right over them. Notes, stats. We were in his stats. Done with the stats. Actions. Here we go. Now we're going to have fun. Now we're going to look for things like multi-attack. And we're going to add multi-attack in there. So we're going to expand it and say that he gets to make, let's see, makes a number of attacks, makes 2 attacks in one action. These attacks can be the same type or mixed variety of its attack actions. So we're going to specify that he can make 2 attacks. We're going to add an action, and we're going to call it the Ashen Strike. Oop, can't type again. It is an action. It is an attack roll. It is a weapon attack. Melee. He gets a... let's say he gets a +7 to hit you, because, well, we're making kind of a mini boss here. 5-foot reach. We're going to do 1d10 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. I hit the wrong button. 1d10 plus 4. bludgeoning. We're going to add a damage part, and we're going to say that he also does 1d6 fire damage as well. No savings throw on this one. So we're going to say that this action is pretty well done. We got the Ashen Strike in there. We're going to collapse that. We're going to add another action called Cinder Burst. It is going to be a trait. No roll. We're going to give this one a recharge. We're going to see that it recharges on a 5 and a 6. And we're just going to say that the Tyrant releases the Tyrant releases a wave of ash and flame in a 15-foot radius. Creatures in the area must make a DC 15 dexterity savings throw, taking 48 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a success. So we are going to make it a savings throw. And said that it is a DC 15 dexterity savings throw, taking up 4d6 fire damage. There we go. So we have Cinder Burst. You see it automatically added that it's a recharge, 5/6. The Tyrant releases a wave of ash and flame in a 15-foot radius. Creatures in the area must make a DC 15 dexterity savings throw, taking 4d6 fire damage on a failed save, half as much on a success. I need to fix the wording of this a little bit. It's auto-adding stuff in here that it shouldn't be adding. But that's not going to affect how it works. It's just a little odd. Let's see, what else did we have in here? We had a bonus action. And we called it Core Flare. Hit a Core Flare, and it was a bonus action. And as a bonus action, each creature within 10 feet takes 2d6 fire damage. Just because. There we go. So, traits, actions, bonus actions. That was everything for him until we get over to the boss section. He is a boss, and we are going to enable legendary actions. How many legendary actions is our boss going to have? He's a mini boss. Let's just give him 2. We're going to give him 2 per round. Let's enable legendary resistances while we're in here, and we'll say that he gets 2 legendary resistances per day. We're going to go back over to our actions. We're going to add the Ash Strike again, and this time we're going to make it a legendary action. It is an attack roll. It costs 1 legendary action. Weapon attack, melee attack, duck, duck, duck. And what did we say for our Ashen attack before? It's the same thing. It is a plus 7 to hit. Bludgeoning damage. Right, so it is 1d10 plus 4. Bludgeoning damage. We're going to add a damage part to it, and it is fire damage. What did we say? In our notes. 1 Ashen Strike. We're gonna do it like this. Do it like this. It looks better like that. So the Tyrant makes 1 Ashen Strike. It's a legendary action. It costs 1 legendary. We're gonna add another one, and we're going to call it Ashen Shift. It is a legendary action. It is a feature. No recharge. The notes on this one. And there we go. Now I gotta go inspect this creature and make sure that that actually worked, that I did it correctly. Again, this is why I like doing these live streams. I get to see exactly what I've done and if it's working, if it's not working. Tyrant bursts into a cloud of ash and moves up to 20 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. Alright, so it's not a caster, so no casting. We've already used our library. We'll go to review. No tags added. I forget tags too. We're gonna call this boss. They're gonna call it mini. We're gonna just what else? Ash. You know, there's no telling what words you're gonna remember. Legendary resistance enabled, but no descriptive text. No descriptive text has been added. Oh, look, legendary resistances. So we can add legendary resistances up here. Nice. Just add that in as a trait. Ah, there we go. Another validation error. The trait is there, but it's telling me that it's not. More notes. Here we go, guys. Again, these are just minor little issues. It doesn't affect how the creature actually works and exports. So we're going to go ahead and save our blueprint, export the creature compendium, open our actor sheet, and we can see right there we've got our Ashbound Tyrant. He's got his 2 legendary actions, his 2 legendary resistances. Everything's right where it should be. Multi-attack, Cinder Burst, legendary resistances, the Ashen Strike, the Core Flame, the Ash Strike, and the Ashen Shift. So we're going to go ahead and import him. Drop him on the screen. Assume legendary action. Spend 1 legendary action of the 2 available. We're going to stop that. Spend 2 legendary actions. Yay! Our legendary actions are working. If we do our Cinder Burst, consume. Yes, we'll use it. And then we can recharge it, or try and recharge it. Ooh, a 1. There we go. Now it recharged. We can do it again. So, couple minor little things, but it does actually work. Mostly just validation errors. I'll get digging into those and probably have an update on them tomorrow. But now, because we've been saving them as blueprints, I can go back to my creature brewer, hit the edit button, and there they are. They're all here. Every one of them. And we've got a search bar. We can search for those tags like boss. We can search for Ash. We can search for Shadowfell. And every one of them are here. It's a simple click, reopen it, and edit it to how you want. Really simple. No fighting with importing anything from outside Foundry. No fighting with the Foundry interface itself. Don't get me wrong, I love Foundry. I've always loved Foundry. I've been with them since almost the beginning. But the interface for adding things like extra attack actions and extra damage and stuff like that. Unless you know where to look inside the character sheet to add things like these extra damages, it is really, really difficult to find. So why not make it an easier way? And make it a nice, cool preview at the same time, so your character actually looks to have a actual sheet. You can screenshot, you can share it with your friends. We are going to set up in my Discord a space where you can actually share your creatures. Anything that you brew that is, you know, really cool and not somebody else's material, that is your material, will allow you to share it with other users so they can import it and use it in their games, or you can just share the character sheet, whatever you like. So this is the first in a line of brewers that we are bringing to Foundry. The next one I've already started. You can see it over here in the tab. It's called Item Brewer, where you can homebrew items. I'm currently working on it. It's not super functional yet, but we're getting there. There's a lot to learn in the background to see what Foundry's actually looking for as far as information for inputting and outputting and things of that nature. But again, we're doing basically the same thing. We've got a nice preview. We've got all of our different tabs. And again, this is just a rough example of what it actually going to look like. After Item Brewer, we've got the Spell Brewer coming. I know a lot of people like to homebrew spells. And then the one that's taking me the longest, the one that I don't expect to be out before the end of the year, is the Hero Brewer. I called it Archive of Heroes to start with, but it's actually going to be a brewer. And what it is for, it is an in-Foundry character builder where you can actually build your characters, update your characters, and all that inside Foundry. And it is the most difficult and complex one that I have tried to build yet, and it is literally going to take me forever. But unless anybody out there has any kind of questions about the Archive Brewer or anything else that we've been doing, that's pretty much going to be me. That's the brewer in a nutshell, what it does, how it works. I hope all of you guys have found this very interesting, and that you come and check out the Discord, come and check out the Patreon, and let me know if you find anything in there that you like, you don't like. Yeah, pretty much it, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy your home brewing. Enjoy the Creature Brewer. And as always, I hope that your dice are always in your favor. Have a great night, guys.